do you stay focused and avoid burnout while working from home? Whether you're a freelancer, a creator, tech bro, tech sis, we have all been there. You work from home and it's becoming incredibly difficult to juggle work and life. The work-life balance is non-existent. And before you know it, you are burnt out. I have been there. I've been working from home for the past 3 years and I have seen it all. From the lazy days to the unproductive days to the burnt out days. Some days you feel like quitting your job. Yes, I've experienced it all, and that's why in this video I'll be sharing my top 10 tips to remaining productive while you work from home, avoid burnout, and just like live a balanced life. These tips I'll be sharing with you, they are not tips that I have heard somewhere. These are tips I have actually practiced and they have worked for me. Tip 1, create a consistent morning routine. Yes, as simple as that sounds, you need it. Freedom minus structure equals chaos. And in 2025, you don't want chaos. Have a morning routine that you can follow on. If you've observed, if you work a 9 to 5 and you actually go to the office, there is a routine. You wake up by 5:30, you prepare, you get your breakfast ready, you put on your clothes, you head to the bus stop, or you get into your car and head to work. You see, there's a routine. But for some of us that work online and we work from home, sometimes our sign-in time is 9 a.m. and we are waking up by 8:50. Why? Don't worry, I'm not judging, I'm on this table as well. I've experienced this and this is a tip that works. Just have a routine. Have something you can do, even if it's waking up, saying your prayers, having your bath, having breakfast, and then sitting down to work. That's a routine. Let it be you wake up at a particular time, and let it be your body has adjusted to that time, such that if it's 6 a.m., you are up. Even if you slept by 5, you will be up by 6 a.m. That is how you really need to, that's the kind of routine you need. Tip 2, plan your day. See, and I know you've heard a lot of people say plan your day, but let me share another perspective to it. If you wake up and you start your day without planning, most of the time you realize that you will scroll on TikTok, you will spend time scrolling on Instagram, you will spend time doing work that doesn't count, you will spend time doing really irrelevant things. But if you have a plan, even if you don't follow through 100%, if you have a plan, even if it's 70%, you will close that day feeling productive and fulfilled. Tip 3, set boundaries for your work and life balance. Let me tell you a story. When I started working remotely from my home, I didn't have boundaries. I can work into the night. 8 p.m., 9 p.m., I'm still working. I don't have time reserved for myself. I'm just working around the clock. I mean, when I started out, I felt so good about it. I felt like I was being useful. I felt like I was contributing immense value until I started burning out. Until I could no longer deliver the same quality of work because I was burnt out. See, you don't get any award doing more than you can actually do. You don't get any award for overwhelming yourself. Create a healthy work-life balance. No one will set that boundary. You have to set it for yourself. You have to communicate with your clients or communicate with your boss. That's beyond this time, I'm so sorry. But beyond this time, I am unavailable. I mean, you don't go to a regular office job and stay there all day. You don't. At a certain time, most likely 4 p.m., you come back from work. And that's how it should be. Else, you are just going to sit down all day doing work and you won't have a life outside your work. If you're in your 20s, you shouldn't even try this, especially if you're in your 20s. Tip 4, set intentional breaks. By that, it's just simply you taking out breaks in between the day. I feel like for some of us that work remotely, we just tend to sit down and work and maybe get distracted by Instagram, TikTok, or whatever social media app. But you really have to take intentional breaks. An example of an intentional break is taking break to eat. Take intentional breaks. Yes. I know sometimes we can just get so caught up with work and work. And before you know it, 8 hours is up. Like, you have to actually take some kind of time. Stand up, walk around. Stand up, go get food. Go get food. I'm on this table because I know that sometimes whenever I work, I do not stand up to get food. You have to take care of yourself even if you work remotely. You have to eat your breakfast and lunch. You see why we need to have a morning routine? Because typically those that go to work carry a lunch pack. But we that stay at home, we don't have any lunch pack. Sometimes we end up not even making food, which is to our detriment. The next tip is to leave your house, go out and connect with people. Yes, I know you didn't want to hear, but so hard to say it. You have to go out and connect with people. You cannot work indoors all year round. You will not have any social life. You will not have any friends. You have only virtual friends. My dear, you have to go out at some point. Look for events, even if it's at least 1 or 2 a month. Look for something. Go out and have lunch by yourself. You can even take yourself on a solo date too. No one says you have to go with someone. You can take yourself on a solo date. Go out. You need the vitamin D. You need the vitamin. If you deprive yourself from the sunlight at some point, in fact, you start getting depressed. Yes, it happens even in Nigeria, especially if you work indoors and you don't see sunlight all year round. You need to go out. Yes, go out, connect with people, and it just helps calm you. Like, you just feel refreshed when you get to interact with people, even if you're an introvert. I'm an introvert, but I still go out to meet people. And anytime I do that, I feel so refreshed. So even if you're an introvert, you're still going to feel good when you go out and connect with people. The next tip would be for you to create a designated workspace for yourself. This tip is for those that like to work from their beds. Yes, you will lie down with your computer on your chest and you'll be working. It's comfortable though, I cannot lie. It's very comfortable. But are you always that productive? Are you always that productive? Sometimes you will drift off to sleep. Sometimes, before you know it, you start scrolling on Instagram. Before you know it, it's like you are carried away, you are not focused. And give it 2-3 months, you will start developing back pain. Yes, because you are not sitting, you don't have a good posture. You're always lying on the bed with your computer. See, it even helps with your productivity because you get to sit on a chair and table and work. You sit in an upright position and everything around you just feels like an office environment. If you can create a solo office in your home, that's fine. But if you can't, you can always have a designated area in your room that is for working. You have your chair, your table, your lights. If you have a white screen, that's fair. Like, just have your equipment around you. And anytime you step into that space, you feel a certain kind of way. You know that, okay, I'm in work mode. I need to work. I'm not going to be lazy. I'm not going to just be sloppy. I'm going to get my work done. It helps. So if you can, please create one for yourself. Guys, this is my favorite tip. Yes, this is my favorite tip. Use a time tracker. When I started doing this, it just didn't make sense. Like, why would I use a time tracker? But this tip helped me a lot in 2024. I became so productive. Like, the app I would recommend for this is the Forest app. You can pay for the subscription. It's like 1,500 naira. I don't know if it's more expensive now. It's been a while since I even checked that. You can track your hours. You can track the amount of hours you're spending on a project, on your personal project, on learning, on even scrolling on TikTok if you like. Like, you can actually track your hours. And at the end of the week, you can go through to see, okay, this is where I spent my time, and you can make adjustments. It hits differently when you can actually see where your time has been going. Like, you can see that you spent 12 hours on TikTok. When you see that report, next week, you will advise yourself. I guess this is going to be the final tip, but the final tip here is set your working hours. See, even if you work remotely, you are still working a job and you should have hours. Some people prioritize work over rest. The funny thing is that when you prioritize work over rest, there will come a time where your body can no longer take that work and you'll be forced to rest. As I said before, freedom without structure is chaos. You need a structure. Don't take your freedom for granted. Create some kind of boundary. I work a 9 to 5. I work 8 to 4. Beyond 4, please, I'm not available. Obviously, you can communicate this in a polite and kind way to your client so that they understand. Like, we're all humans, we're not robots, we're not machines. Everyone will understand, okay? Don't be afraid to communicate your boundary in a respectful way, obviously. Another tip is to eat well and nourish your body. Yes, we are used to eating junks. Those that work remotely, we are used to eating junks. We are used to eating food that is really and highly processed. We have to start taking our feeding seriously, because I don't know if you've observed, but if you don't eat properly, then you can't focus on your work and you will just churn out low quality work. Eat properly, eat whole meals, eat your proteins, taking your carbs, taking your fats, taking like your vitamins, your nutrients. This is what helps your brain. And if your brain is not working well, trust me, you can't focus on that work. You wouldn't be able to focus on anything. You'll just be delivering low quality work and your clients will be wondering what's wrong with you. So that's it, my top tips for remaining productive while you work from home. If there's any tip that stood out to you, let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.